Hey guys, Miles here, and I have been thinking about doing this for a really long time. I have been considering uploading one of my work in progress kind of storyboard sketches of one of my animation projects. And I haven't done it yet because even I look back and I'm like, oh gosh, this is so bad. I'm not a work in progress person. I am not a storyboarding person. I suck at it. The only reason that I even do it at all is to kind of help me get the timing of the project right, so I know sort of what I'm going to be drawing, where I want it, and then how often I want transitions to happen and that kind of stuff. So it's definitely very helpful in the beginning stages of a project to have work in project sketches that I can kind of throw up there and get an idea of what I want everything to look like. That being said, I don't put a lot of effort into my work in progress sketches because I know that I'll have time to further define their style and design later on. They're just basically a base for me to kind of work on, and given that fact, they're incredibly interesting and very amusing to look back on because they look so stupid. So I figured that I would do a kind of work in progress storyboard reveal today, so you can see kind of my humble beginnings as I start working on a project like the one that I just uploaded. Normally when I'm doing my work in progress sketches, I will open my art program called Mischief, which has an endless canvas. So basically I can draw all of my sketches on a handful of layers. I think you can only have so many layers, but it doesn't matter because you can just scroll over to a new spot and draw something new. But anyway, it's a really cool program because it allows me to sketch all of my pieces on one sheet of paper, if you will. And that's how it looks on the screen when you're working. And then I can actually save that so I can go back and look at everything all together. So I'll do my work in progress sketches in Mischief, and then I bounce them over to my movie program, or my movie editing program, pardon me, Final Cut, and then I kind of put them together with some subtle transitions so I know exactly kind of what I'm looking for. All right, here to start us off, I have an incomplete title screen where I haven't even added a title yet because I'm not sure what I want to put, so I just leave that normally open so I can further define that later. And as we start this project off, you can see my horrible sketch here of messy lines. This is supposed to be September's face. I'm just laughing because it's funny because I know that I create, I don't want to toot my own horn, mediocre art. I create mediocre art, okay? Let's go with that. But when you look at my work in progress sketches, you wouldn't know that because they're so bad. I literally rush this so much. Anyway, continuing. I try to leave my backgrounds and stuff if I've picked out a background, I try to put that in there so that I don't have to put that in there afterward. So we got that. Then obviously, if you're a fan of my channel, you've heard before that I do not and cannot draw hands. So my work in progress sketches of hands that I haven't referenced or looked at a reference to draw, they look like this, like clubs with little stubs coming off of them. It's so bad. It's so bad. Anyway, there's that. I never draw my hair pieces in because I know I do that afterwards, so you're going to see a lot of bald people in here. This is supposed to be September and Hazard. And I'll change these scenes too as I do the final sketches, so some of these things you'll see have changed in the actual project, but that, there's that. Just getting my heads in here because heads take me the longest, so I'll sketch out my heads if I know what I want to use, and I think I even changed this scene as well. Bald people. Some dark here, for the sake of being dark. Another scene where you can clearly see that I do not and cannot draw hands, and I don't even try. When I do these sketches, I'm like, okay, there's gonna be hands there, but I'm not even gonna give it the time of day to actually define what they look like. That's okay, I can do that later. This scene was originally meant to merge between an outdoor scene that then turns into an interior scene with cage bars as the focal point. I did not actually end up going with that. I did some background scenes from, I don't want to give this away, but Greenleaf Rehab is in here. There are scenes from Greenleaf's Rehab from my Outrun series. If you haven't watched that, the last episode will explain all that, so feel free to go back and get some context, but that's what I ended up using instead of these flowers and bars here. And the next scene was supposed to be September kind of sitting by herself. I didn't actually end up using this, but I thought it would be kind of a cool shot of her like curled into the corner here. Again, did not end up using it. And I've just, at this point, I've given up on drawing hands altogether. You can just see I've got like little circles. I can't even talk. There's not even fingers on this drawing because I've given up at this point. And then we roll into some bloody floor scenes and my first up close shot of Hazard. I think this one's even better than the September one because it actually, like, there's some symmetry going on, but you can see I'm still not trying super hard. I'm just tossing stuff in here. And then this, I've decided that I'm actually going to slightly reference a hand at this point holding fire. I did not end up using this angle, nor did I end up using this hand, thank goodness. So that happened, and that was a thing. Originally, I had this idea to reference a photo that I found online for this kind of like sideways shot of Hazard's hands on the bars here. I did not end up doing that because while my sketches didn't look half bad when I actually tried to do like the final shot, they looked really, really bad. And I redid them like 4 or 5 times before I was like, nope, I gotta give up. This is taking way too heckin' long. I can't do it. So I scrapped that and I did the full frontal scene with him pulling to the sides. I like this side shot a lot, but it did not end up working and I'm okay with that. Then we got some more up close shots here, cut to black for a skosh. And then this is literally what my idea looked like before I was able to kind of rough out what I wanted. You can see my lovely hands there. And thank goodness all my characters are wearing socks because the only thing I suck at more than drawing hands is drawing feet. So socks on everybody. No one gets to go with their feet naked here. That doesn't happen. Not in my universe. So you got September and her pose with the fire. Then you got Hazard and his pose on the floor. Puking blood like he does, you know. We love you, Hazard. We love you and all your craziness. So that's basically the better, like, latter portion of this project. You got your bouncing, your up-close shots. There's no flashing lights here because I didn't need them just yet, but then once I actually did the final project, I was like, I'm having a little trouble kind of stringing this together. How can I fix that? Oh yeah, there's one surefire way to just make it all look great. Go ahead and put some flashing transitions in there, and so that's what I did. Then in the end, I wasn't really sure where I was going, so I reused this hand shot, and then I was supposed to have a shot at the end with Hazard basically holding September, but you know what? I love this because it's like I tried with his face, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm doing this. And then I gave up by the time her face came around. I'm like, yeah, I'm just not gonna put any detail in there. I gave them club hands, and I'm like, yeah, this shot's cute, but like, I'm gonna need to do some work on this. And then I realized, I look back at this and I'm like, you know what? September is not the kind of chick to like let someone sweep her up, especially Hazard at this point. Like, okay, they're a thing, but like September's just not like that. So I'm like, this is gonna look kind of weird if he's like holding her and she's like, I don't know, just in his arms. I'm like, that just doesn't really fit their characters. So I ended up going with the final scene where she's basically kind of calming him down, and he's after setting her free, he's just kind of like post-breakdown mode and then fading to black after that.
Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes up. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with a nasty bite out. In the dead of the night, teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
you can see, like, the creative process is definitely an interesting one. You know, you take certain steps to make things one way or another way, and then sometimes you scrap things, sometimes you go back to the drawing board, sometimes you change things completely. It's just, it's all part of the process. So don't feel discouraged or put down or let down if your process takes a while. Hopefully you can take away a few laughs from this project. Obviously you can see what my hands look like before I do any work on them, which is hilarious in its own right. And get inspired, you know? Go ahead and start your own creative journey. Draw even if you don't like what you see. Fix it till you do. It's all part of what it is like being a content creator, being an artist, and doing both on YouTube. So guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing this craziness, and if you aren't already, please don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment so I can talk to y'all, and if you like this video, I'm not even gonna ask you to like this video. In fact, dislike this video, because this is ridiculousness at play. But there's a method to the madness, and there's always a reason behind it. Look at me at this point, asking viewers to dislike my video so that I don't have to feel alone in disliking my own video. Go watch the finished product. What are you doing here? If you haven't already seen the finished project, please go watch that. That's worth watching and liking. Alright guys, I love y'all and stay awesome. Bye!